And Rob, let's go to the NFL. Not kind of Pat Mahomes, I guess. But he's not the guy whose quote we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Mahomes and Randy Moss. Randy Moss, one of the greatest wide receivers in the history of football,
I had
without
the pleasure
question.
Of when I worked in Detroit, Chris, he played for the Vikings.
Right.
And to watch him play twice a year against the Lions. And he used to crush the Lions like he did most teams. But, boy, man,
he
just
was awesome,
watching
man.
that guy. He was. It was a pleasure. He was one of those, Chris, we've covered a lot of sports, a lot of people. And there aren't that many athletes that a sports writer would pay to see play. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
He was one of those guys. If you ask me, would you buy a ticket to go see Randy Moss catch the football? Absolutely.
Yeah, he was a freak. And all of the professional athletes essentially are freaks. But when you're a freak among the freaks, that's saying something. That's how freakish his athleticism was, that he was on a level by himself among the greatest athletes in the world. So no doubt he was great. And, of course, he played, Rob, with Tom Brady on a team that went 17-0 and then, of course, lost in the Super Bowl to the New York Giants.
I thought they were 18-0. 18
with 18-0 and then it ended up 18-1, right?
Because they were 16-0 during the regular season, and then they got to the Super Bowl 18-0, and then they lost, right?
Had they won, there's no doubt they would be regarded as the greatest team in NFL history.
Chris, they were blowing people out of the water.
If
you go look
crazy.
at that regular season, they were scoring 35 points a game. It was a video game. It was a video game.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Rob. And I'm not trying to get in a big Brady discussion, but it was that year that I really started thinking, you know what? Tom Brady might be the GOAT. Because at that point he had, 3 Super Bowls. And, he had never had really great receivers. He was winning, but, his numbers were good, but nothing crazy. And he didn't have great receivers. And then I was like, wow, you give him like a really great receiver, a Hall of Fame type receiver, and he was putting up incredible numbers. I think he had 50 TDs that year. Like, it was crazy. And that's when I start thinking, okay, this guy might be or become the GOAT. So that was a big, obviously, connection with Randy Moss and Tom Brady. But that's what makes what Moss said yesterday on ESPN even, more powerful. He said this on ESPN's Get Up. Here's his quote. When you look at a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, and like I said, being able to extend the play, I'm a deep threat guy, and having that type of speed on the field, for him to be able to extend plays, we possibly could be looking at the greatest quarterback of all time. No disrespect to Tom Brady and what he's been able to accomplish. His Super Bowl rings speak volumes, but when you look at the position and how the position in the game is changing year after year, we could be possibly seeing the greatest quarterback that we've witnessed. And Rob, for me, welcome to the train, Randy, because I've been saying this. Not that he is the greatest, because he's got a long way to go, and he's got a lot left that he has to accomplish, mainly winning Super Bowls and still putting up the great individual numbers. But I've been out there for a while after his first year and said this guy could be the GOAT. He's got GOAT potential. And so I'm fine with what Randy said. Where you at?
I just think it's premature. And I get it. We got 3 hours to kill. People need to put content out. And it's easy to be looking at the here and now. And I'm not here to bash Patrick Mahomes or say he's not on some meteoric rise and his career's off to a great start. 2 years in the league, an MVP and a Super Bowl championship, but I'm always pumped the brakes. It's such a long way to go. So many different factors. He went from 50 touchdowns his first year to was it 26 or 28 last year in the regular season?
Well, he was hurt. He missed 3 games.
Yeah, but I know he missed a couple games, but still it was down, and it wasn't. They won a game in Detroit this past regular season where he didn't even throw any touchdowns.
Wow,
So,
one game with no touchdowns?
But I'm just saying, my point was, and if you watch the first 3 quarters of the Super Bowl, you wouldn't be saying this stuff that you're saying. My point is,
I wouldn't be saying what?
About if they lost that
he
game,
could be the GOAT?
Yes, if he would have lost the Super Bowl, even though he would have got there, you would have said that. After
what GOAT hasn't had a bad game?
I'm asking you, would that be your conversation?
Yes, because my conversation was this before they even got to the Super Bowl.
Had they lost and he played as poorly as he did the first 3 quarters, say they lost the game, you would be out here saying he's the greatest thing we've ever seen and he's going to be the greatest
First of all,
quarterback?
I'm not out here now saying he's the greatest thing we've ever seen.
I just think
I'm out here saying he's got GOAT potential, and yes, if they had lost that Super Bowl, I still would say he's got GOAT potential.
I just would love, and I always use this, whether it applies or not. I just remember Ron Jaworski was an NFL quarterback for a long time, respected NFL analyst, who went out on the limb and told everybody that Colin Kaepernick had the chance to be the greatest quarterback who ever played the game. And I remember the playoff game against the Green Bay Packers, and I remember the spark and the charge and how different he was, and the stories about how he changed the quarterback position and you couldn't defend him and all that other stuff. And things happen, and it didn't wind up working out. I'm not rooting against Patrick Mahomes. I just think the road is so long, and the other part is the idea that whether I think Joe Montana's the GOAT, but if people who want to pick Tom Brady, the goal or the plateau is so high, and it ain't just about winning Super Bowls. Okay,
right.
It's not. But if you go use Brady as your standard, 9 trips to the Super Bowl, 6 wins, MVP, some of the other seasons and stuff that he's done. It just looks like it's insurmountable to me that Patrick Mahomes, 12 years later, is going to have 6 Super Bowls or maybe 4 and no losses, and the team's going to stay together and everything's going to work out. Because I saw Tom Brady in all his glory go 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. 10 years. Go look it up. People act like it was he won all of his Super Bowls in 9 or 10 years. He went to the Super Bowl, Chris, but he lost. And he lost to Eli Manning a couple times. And when I look at the landscape of all these young quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson and Lamar Jackson and all the other guys, Tua down in Miami, who people are excited about, and all these young guys out there who are coming up, I don't think it's going to be that easy just to say he's going to win every year and it's a layup. I think there's going to be pushback from other guys. So I'm just not in that camp. As great as his start is and as much respect as I have for Patrick Mahomes, I've always been a guy to let it breathe, open up the bottle of wine, let it breathe a little bit.
Rob, in 2012, you said Tom Brady was done winning Super Bowls. That was premature.
No, it wasn't premature.
That was premature.
No,
it was premature and it was wrong.
He got lucky the last couple of years. That's why he's the low.
Super Bowls since
That's
then.
why he's the low. Go
All
look.
of them were luck. Stop
the last Super Bowl he won.
I'm just
yes.
saying, kill
Can
that
I give
premature.
You my
kill
Can I
the
give you?
Can I finish? You just went off for 7 minutes.
I'm trying to give good
don't
content.
Give me the premature mess, all right? Because you were premature on Tom Brady. This is not premature. What would be premature is to say that he's the GOAT. That would be not only premature, that would be ridiculous to say Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. But to say he's got the potential, it's not premature. He does. And to compare Colin Kaepernick, as much as I believe Colin Kaepernick should be in the league.
I'm going off the quote.
Colin Kaepernick on his best day was not a 3/4 of the quarterback that Patrick Mahomes is on his best day.
No, you're missing the point, Chris.
No, I
yes,
got
you
your
are.
point.
It's about Ron Jaworski. You might sound like Ron Jaworski when it's all over. That's my point.
Rob,
you're going to be Ron Jaworski.
I know, because it's totally different. Because Patrick Mahomes has an MVP. Colin Kaepernick didn't get close to an MVP. Patrick Mahomes has a Super Bowl ring. Colin Kaepernick didn't get close to a Super Bowl.
Chris, you said it before he won the Super Bowl. You said it before that.
But
you said it before that.
Do you watch the games or do you just read the stories?
I watched the game.
Patrick Mahomes. That's why he's got GOAT potential. It's what he does, the way he plays, the way he throws the football. That's what it is. It's not about that. Anybody looking at him and looking at Colin Kaepernick sees the difference.
Chris, my point is simple. I remember the talk about RG3 after his rookie year. I remember Dan Marino. Patrick
Mahomes already done something Dan Marino hasn't.
I'm talking about. No, my point is Dan Marino in his second year when he had that unbelievable year and got the Dolphins to the Super Bowl, the sky was the limit. They were talking about Dan Marino possibly being the greatest quarterback of all time. He never got back to the Super Bowl. That's my point. It's premature. That's all.
It
doesn't mean that it couldn't happen.
What was premature?
If he never gets to another Super Bowl, he's going to be in the GOAT conversation.
Get to a Super Bowl. What?
If he doesn't get to another Super Bowl, would it be premature? He'd still be the GOAT?
No, it won't be premature. For somebody to say when LeBron James was in high school that he could be the greatest player we've ever seen, and people were saying that, it was not premature. He didn't go on in our eyes to do it.
We can name other players
not premature
that
to
was
say
thrown
he
out.
had that potential. Yeah, because some guys it shouldn't be thrown out, and others it should. I've said it once or twice a generation. There comes along a player in all the sports that's got GOAT potential. That's all we're saying. Potential. As great as Kevin Durant is, nobody's ever said he had GOAT potential. That's the difference. Potential. That's all we're saying.